Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Colby from Sanitarian Productions. We're back again with another action figure accessory review. One of our previous videos, we took a look at the 7-inch scale Valuelock Storage Capsule from NECA. And in this episode, we're actually taking a look at the same thing, but scaled for 3 3/4 to 4-inch figures. So it's basically the same thing. It's made by NECA. It is just smaller. So, yeah, it should be kind of cool. So it does come kind of the same way here. We have just a cylinder, plastic, acrylic, whatever you want to call it. Not a whole lot going on with it. The packaging looked kind of interesting. Adjustable foot pegs for wide and narrow stance figures. Again, made by NECA. Protective preserve display for use with 3 3/4 inch sized figures. So kind of cool. I picked this up at Target. I want to say it was like $5 or might have been $6. I don't actually have my receipt anywhere handy. $5 or $6, so it's a little expensive, but I was curious to see how well it would hold up. So let's go ahead and open this thing up, and we're just gonna, I guess, test fit a few figures and see how well it does. Hopefully this one will go a little smoother than the big 7-inch one. I wasn't really prepared for that one, so I don't know. We're going to try it here and see. So we're just going to slice this tape off the bottom here. I'm reaching over top of the camera today, so a little bit different setup than normal, so I'm going to try to keep things in frame as much as possible, but I usually do this as an overhead view, but that's what we got for today. So, paper's off. Then this thing just, in theory, get my arm through here, lifts off. And then we pull this little packaging thing off. So it's pretty much the same thing. It has the opening, as you can see, and then this thing just sits on top of it. So it doesn't actually lock into place or anything. And now that I'm looking at it, I see some cracks in it. I didn't see that on the shelves, so that may be something you want to be mindful of. These things could potentially have some cracks in it. I don't know how well that shows up, but yeah, there is a crack there. And same thing on the other side, another crack. So, yeah. So the bottom base is plain. It does have 2 holes here for your foot pegs, and I don't know if they actually included, they did. So in the packaging itself, that's just empty wrapper. But we have these little foot pegs taped in here. So yes, 2 sizes of foot pegs, so that is cool. I can get it off that little piece of tape. So when you're opening this thing up, be careful not to lose that little foot peg, because that's all you get. The 2 foot pegs, see how well this will work. How's that? One is a short one, one is a long one. So I don't really remember exactly what this is. Again, this is for NECA sized figures. So what I usually use are the G.I. Joe figures. So that's what we're going to look at here. So we've got Beachhead, and he's got these pegs here. So we're just going to try and see which of these go with which one. The short one is really too small. It just fits in and out very easily. Doesn't hold at all. And then the big one is too big or too long, and it also doesn't actually fit that size foot peg. So I do have some other ones here. We've got a vintage G.I. Joe figure. Here's a Footloose from Slaughter's Marauders from the G.I. Joe vintage line. And I can done tell you these are not going to work for any of those. So, yeah, I don't remember where my Star Wars figures are right now. So, I'm looking around real quick, but I don't see any real handy, so I'm not going to worry about those. So yeah, the foot pegs are going to be kind of, you know, up to you as to whether or not you want to use them. But we're going to go ahead and move on from there. If you have regular, like, battle stands, most of them come with the figures nowadays. So, like, the G.I. Joe battle stands, they won't actually fit in here. So, see there, it's just they're too long. So you're going to have to improvise. They do make some smaller ones that you can find, and you can get some of the vintage foot stands. Would probably work just fine. I'm looking to see if I don't really have one of those. I thought I had everything laid out here, but yeah, so those aren't going to work. But if you have some of those vintage stands, they should fit in here. But regardless, let's just start here and put a couple of figures in here and see how they look. So we got our vintage Footloose figure. He actually stands pretty well on his own. Let me actually slide this back. That'll probably work. Put the figure in there like so. And then we put the case on top. It just slides down on top of there. And there you go. Those look pretty decent, to be very honest with you. There's a little bit of extra headroom at the top, so if you have longer weapons and things like that, some of the like bazookas and some of the crazy weapons that some of these G.I. Joes come with, they should fit in there just fine. Again, my problem with these are that they don't lock in place. This one actually holds pretty secure, but they definitely don't lock. So if you're transporting them, you may have to be careful with that. Again, we got the Beachhead from the 25th anniversary. He stands in here pretty well by himself. We'll stick this on top of here, like so. And that actually looks pretty good as well. So I think you're going to be fine with most of the 3 3/4 inch to 4 inch figures. Shouldn't really have any problem with room. And I like these a little bit better than those 7-inch scale ones because there's not quite as much headroom at the top, so they don't look odd. With a single figure in there, you know, there's not a lot of wasted space. So that is a good thing, and I do appreciate that. We're going to test a couple of more figures here just to see how things look. This thing is pretty tight on there, so that's nice. Much tighter than that 7-inch one. Next up we have from Boss Fight Studios, one of the Knights of Accordia. Again, I didn't grab the battle stand, but he should stand just fine. But he's a little bit longer, wider in the shoulders. I probably should have got the foot stand. There we go. He's a little bit wider in the shoulder, but you can still fit this over top of that very easily. And that still looks really nice. I keep moving it a little bit forward. There we go. That one still looks very nice. So that'll definitely work for them, even with their extra accessories that they have. So we'll spin that just a little bit there. You can see his he's moved in there, but the sword sheath fits in there without any problem. He's got kind of a higher helmet, but there's still plenty of room up in there. So that would not be a problem whatsoever. That is nice to know. Oop. Alright, so that one works. We have the Undertaker here from the WWE. What were these things? The Build and Brawl figures? Build and Brawl Undertaker. I got an Undertaker because I wanted the Undertaker in the G.I. Joe team. So, these things they're not around anymore, so. and they're a little bit hard to pose. They also don't have foot pegs on the bottom of them, so you'll have to do some fiddling with it to get it to actually fit in there, but we're just going to stick it in here. So he'll topple to the back a little bit, but that's okay. But it still fits, still looks nice. Again, plenty of room in there. So yeah, I don't think you're going to have any problem at all with any 3 3/4 inch figure. But out of curiosity, I've got some other random figures here. We've got Bill S. Preston Esquire from the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. Way back. This one's a dirty figure, but curious to see how well this works. So this thing doesn't quite fit over top of there easily. You may have to play around with it a little bit to get his stance set. Yeah, it just doesn't quite work. But if you don't mind squeezing it a little bit, he's just a little bit too tall to fit in there, but and he won't fit in there with his guitar, so you'd have to put the guitar like on the ground here. But it would work in a pinch. That's not terrible. Again, he's a little taller, so I would say it almost works, but probably wouldn't work with any of the larger figures. I know Bill is kind of the short one in that group. What else we want to see? I've got a couple of just like random things here. So here's like a Dungeons and Dragons miniature, just to see. That works, but again, that's got way too much headroom, but definitely fits inside there. Hero Clicks. This is Leonardo from, I don't even know what set that was from, but a Leonardo from Hero Clicks. Definitely fits in there. Looks pretty good, but again, way too much headroom on there. But it would work. Other figures, we've got Leonardo from the Mega Construct set. So I don't have his face somewhere close, so we're just going to stick him in here by himself. But he fits in there pretty good, actually. Still has a little bit, whoops, he fell down. He's got a little bit too much headroom in there as well, but if you're looking for something for your Mega Constructs figures, I've got like a bunch of the Masters of the Universe series in that. It works, but yeah, so anyways, there you go. If you're looking for something for, you know, G.I. Joe figures, Star Wars figures, you're not going to have a problem with these. The foot pegs aren't going to fit most of these, but the actual display cylinder works pretty well for those things. So if you're looking for something to maybe just you know, put on your shelf at work or something, just to keep the dust off some figures, it's not a bad option. It is a little pricey still. Again, it's I want to say it's $6. It's like $5.97 or something to that effect. So it is pricey for that. The bottoms don't lock. Foot pegs don't necessarily fit the kinds of figures I'm looking for, but you know, your mileage may vary. So I don't know, it's still not bad. There's other options out there if you're looking for a cylinder like this one, and I'll try to get a couple of them and maybe do a review in the future so you can have some alternatives. They're usually not that high, but they're still pricey. They're like $3 or so a piece. That's still better than the $6 for these, but I'll look around a little bit and get some options out there. I'm really interested in finding one that the base locks in place. So if you have any suggestions, drop some comments down below. Let me know, what you use in these situations. Do you know of one that locks in place, I guess, is the big question I have for you. And if you've tried these, you know, what have you thought about them so far? I've got one more figure here, actually, before we close out. This is one of the Dino Riders figures. I don't know why I grabbed this one, but I did. So, Dino Riders figures, again, they don't have foot pegs, as you can see, but he stands pretty good here, and this thing snaps in place pretty well. They don't have large accessories, not counting the dinosaurs. So, this might be a good option for those. Again, they're a little bit pricey. But the figures themselves run anywhere, you know, $10 or so. So you're paying basically half the cost of a figure for the display case, and that can be a bit pricey. Same thing for like the G.I. Joe figures. Loose, a lot of them are $20, $15, thereabouts. You're still paying a pretty good price for a display case for them. So I'm going to say probably, unless you really need something and don't have other options, I would probably stay away from these. But it's nice to see them in retail stores, so like Target's, which is where I got this one. It was an impulse buy. So it's not bad, but it definitely needs a little bit of work. I need a better solution for the foot pegs, and I need a locking mechanism. Anyways, that's all that we got for today. Thanks for watching. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think of this thing. Give me some suggestions on other things I should try. If you'd like to see anything in future episodes, let me know that as well. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff that everybody's supposed to say at these. So, yeah, that's it. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Thanks as always. And until next time.